shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall.
Who is Stewie? I don't know, to be honest. Who is Stewie? Oh, I know who Stewie is. That coach. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, on a real note, yeah, my name's Ewan. I'm a coach, and I'm irrelevant. So there you go. How old is Stewie? Oh, that's a good question. I'm 17, nearly 18, nearly enough to, you know, get on the tipsy. So maybe soon, but no. Is Stewie single? Yes, I am. I am single. So doing the rock face right now. Any girls in Norway, especially blondies, I'm there. You know, 17 or 18 years old, I'm all for it. How long has Stewie been playing Rocket League? I've been playing Rocket League, in fact, for nearly 5 years now. 2016, I believe. Yeah, it's been a long journey, but I've got nowhere. So, we'll see. Is Stewie good? That can be many things. Stewie could be good at many things. But if we're talking in general, I think I'm quite good. Good at, things that people don't do normally, I guess. If you know, you know. Or no, I don't even know, to be honest. But I'm good. I know I'm good. I'm good though. Is Stewie retiring? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We don't know actually. I'm only 17 years old, but I was training to be a professional accountant, so just got to add that professional part. So we'll see. I've got my exam tomorrow. If you see this, I've passed it. Yeah, follow up from that question. Oh no, Tompy. He says that I'm washed. Is it true? Yes and no. I am washed at specific points in the day, but when it turns that 12 o'clock in the night onwards, it's try hard mode. No one can get near me. I'm beating, Flakes, Zamway, Scrub Killer. No one can get near me. So even Lucky can't even get near me, and that guy apparently is the best player in Norway. So I can't do anything about it. Besides Rocket League, what is Stewie's favorite video game? That's a tough question. If you asked me that back in 2019, I would have said Fortnite. But now, it's probably FIFA or Risk. global domination. Good games, good games. What is Stewie's favorite song? Sorry, I was about to burp. My favorite song, definitely RD, Wasted, classic. No, it's not even a classic, just good UK drill. If you don't know UK drill, you're missing out. Stewie's favorite player in Major, game wide. Well, can I pick myself? I think I should pick myself, to be fair. Yeah, Stewie. I think
You
Stewie.
can't pick yourself. You have to pick
What?
anyone, everyone else, anyone
I,
else.
I, 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 I want to pick myself though.
But you can't pick yourself.
Okay.
Cheating.
It's cheating. Well, I'll go for Tompi. Tompi is my favorite player. Tompi is my favorite player of all time. It doesn't matter. Tompi is my favorite player. But if we're talking in Major currently now, then yeah, it's got to be Lucky. But still, Tompi. I don't care. He's up there. He's always been there, and he always will be. You know, he's in my heart. He must be. He might have been the best player on the team. You know, he was the. You know, he was a character. He was a lovely guy. Stewie's favorite staff in Major. Well, it's definitely not Soul. Sorry, but it's probably between Magnus and Hoover, of course. Probably Hoover. He's been there for a long time for me. You know, straight from the start, and still good times to come. Hopefully, you know, next week. You know, we'll see. If you see this and we've won, and Lucky scores a game 7 overtime, then you'll know first.
Well. Luckily for you, Bast, I didn't ask who his favorite caster was because, well, there can only be one.
I knew it.
That being said, though, welcome everybody to the Major stream, and it's probably going to be the most important one of the entire season here, Bass.
Oh, absolutely. We have got a lot on the line here today. It is us versus AW3. I don't think we can hype this any more than we've already done. The last 2 weeks of the season, we have basically been talking about this every single time. Day in, day out, this is the team we need to beat. Quite literally, this determines who gets #1 seed going into playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did see on Twitter that when I was in the train getting home, their scrim beforehand had been cancelled, which, oof, that one hurts. And the most important game of the season, making it for playoffs, getting the seeding in order, because there's Nordavind as well currently in the running for that top 3 position and for that #1 position even. You just have to put out a good result here.
You have to. There is not an argument to say you cannot. The reality is that we have got to pull out all the stops here today if we want a shot at that #1 position, because the other thing about this one is that we could also have Nordavind overtake this position, because currently they're playing Valet as well. Yes, somehow, some way, it turned out that the top 4 teams would all be playing each other in the final week of the league. I don't know who scheduled this league, so prop to you. You absolutely saved all the bangers. But seriously, if we do not play well against AW3 here and Nordavind end up taking the win over Valet, all of a sudden, they now have more points than us, and they end up taking the season overall. So we have to win this one, Hyferia. There's no two ways about it. I don't want a tie. I don't want a loss. I want a win. We need to crush AW3. I think that we can do it.
Oh, a crush. Okay. I mean, well, we've been 4-1ing and 4-0ing pretty much the entire season except for Nordavind. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do face up against AW3. I think this is kind of the moment where they've been working up towards it the entire season. This is exactly what they've been preparing for, or at least so I hope, because let's be realistic, AW3 does need some preparation.
Yeah, a little bit. This is probably, in my opinion, this is the most threatening team we're going to see all season. The only other one that compares is the Nordavind roster, who, Nordavind gave us our only tie of the season, so that should go to show you why they are a threatening roster as well. But seriously, I think AW3 are probably going to be our biggest competition going into playoffs as well. If we want a chance at beating them, we really do need to set the tone here today and show that we're not just going to get rolled through when we go into playoffs. And again, I really don't even want to see that, we set the tone against these guys. I want to win.
I want to win. I want a W. I want to just absolutely take him out, and not for a dinner date. No. Absolutely no. We're just going to 3-0 yet again. Let's do that, Bass, eh?
let's 3-0 again, but let's keep it really close and super nervous like we did last week. No, please, don't do that. We appreciate you guys keeping it up and down, but like we also mentioned before, game differential actually is rather important here. It's not going to be the end-all be-all, and the reality is unless we take a 4-0 sweep today, there is literally zero way that Nordving can catch up to us in game differential. But I still think that we need to be careful of this. We really do want to not necessarily let ourselves slip up here. We don't want to start to give some extra momentum to AW3 because, like we said, they're a threatening team. We give them any extra advantage, they're going to take it as much as they can.
Absolutely, they're gonna try their best, and they're gonna exploit any single mistake that we do make. Every single time that there has been a mistake, Major has been able to make it right rather quickly, but you hear the engines revving already, and here we go. Magma and Fireman Jonas kicking us off.
Here we go. Best of 6 here, and if you guys are not familiar with the format, that means that we can tie. First team to 4 takes the series, but if we go to 3 apiece, we will even it out and just finish at that. We're not looking for the tie here today. A tie, I think, could still give us that first place finish, but it leaves the door open for a possibility from that Nordving squad. So let's see if we can take this one back and forth here in game number 1. So far, no one able to find themselves a goal, but I think that this is probably what we're looking for here. Not necessarily a hectic start, not necessarily a very back-end or a very contested one, just sort of feeling each other out and playing this one patiently.
It does make sense for this series as well, man. We can't be doing stuff like that, but that everybody takes their time and tries to set up a proper attack every single time, and no ridiculous pre-jumps anymore, no absolutely insane pre-jumps, whatever they were pulling out before, because Major, they've got to stay on par with AW3. Seb, rather. Not quite the amazing commit that he was looking for, but it still works out.
Yeah, not quite exactly what they were looking for here, but for the most part, that's kind of what this first game's going to be. A lot of attempts at certain things that don't necessarily click how you would expect, but that's kind of okay with us. We're not necessarily looking for perfection here. We're looking for a solid start that can give us momentum, and I'll be honest, we don't really seem to have a lot of it here. We look pretty comfortable on defense, but we're kind of just allowing AW3 into our half and allowing them to take as many shots as we want, because instead we'll rip off shots like this. Lucky with the first goal from a ripper on target.
Power, accuracy, all there, but the AW3 side still had the save, and that's exactly what we can't expect here today. And what we do is still get the goal in the end, landing on the goal line, and Lucky converts it. 1.5 minutes into this game, and AW3 are on the back foot, but this is also how it went with Nordving. We traded games every single time, and this game is far from over.
Yeah, this is a very close game still here. It looks like we could have a goal from AW3 at any moment because of the amount of offensive pressure. So we don't want to even give them the chance at this point. Keep cutting down these opportunities. Exactly what Magma did there. Pre jump, get in the way. Do not allow AW3 any extra momentum because they're just looking for recovery here. With 3 minutes remaining, they should be able to find some sort of response, but that's still not guaranteed. Again, our defense has looked strong, but I'm also noticing, despite the fact that AW3 have the overwhelming amount of shots, offensive pressure, Hyferia, they don't have the overwhelming amount of shots. They actually don't have a single shot. No, excuse me. They have a single shot registered throughout this entire game.
And that shot literally just being fired as well. So Mads now ripping one, returning the favor right back with Seb. That's not going to be the most easy clear out to the side, but still one he's expected to make, and he does indeed do so. Fireman Jonas flip reset, tries to extend the play, but Magma nicely dives in the wave, and I think that's exactly why they haven't been getting too many shots. It's just every single time there's a major player in the way.
Every single time we're being really in their face, really aggressive, and I like that. We're not giving the ability to AW3 to find any sort of comfort here on the pitch. You can see they're just booming balls to clear space because they're trying to find a way to not allow us to control this. But the reality is, Fireman Jonas, desperation touch on the ceiling, and it all crumbles from there. AW3 down by 2, and we're only 3 minutes into this game.
That's a great goal for Magma. The misread out of Seb, but still you need to be in that position to try and capitalize, and that's exactly where he was residing. Now Magma straight up with kickoff rips one over the top of Inferno, and that is a scorcher.
Oh, come on. That is absolute filth there. It's a great kickoff goal. I mean, it's a kickoff goal nonetheless, but that probably shouldn't have been a goal. Unless you rip it that on target with that much power, there is no way you get it past Inferno, but my oh my, we are putting the perfect shots on today, Hyferia. We look like we want to win this one, and we look like we want to win it in 3.
I'd say AW3. They look like they want to win it as well, but they're just aren't showing that much just yet. 3-0 deficit here. Fireman Jones is going to try and make the damage go away just a bit. It's not going to work out quite the way that we're looking for, as it's directly Major into the attack yet again.
I'm just confused by this one. AW3 don't seem to have the same sort of aggression. You look at the first minute of this game, and it's pretty much all AW3 on offense. They locked us into our half, continue to put shot after shot after shot. Now they're struggling to break out of their half, and they're missing touches like that. You don't expect Seb to miss a touch like that because it's clinical. It's something we've seen AW3 do throughout this entire season. So this is an off game for AW3. There's no two ways about it. They look like they're still trying to warm up and get into this one, and, well, unfortunately for...
Ooh, hello. The internet absolutely having a nightmare here, but, well, my internet isn't the only one having a nightmare, as it is also AW3. And what do you call when AW3 isn't having their greatest game?
I mean, I'm not sure. The only one I can think of right now is AW3 and 0, because that's the score line, but I'm interested if you've got another one.
Oh, I was going to go AW throw.
Ah, I like that too.
That.
We're doing well. We're doing well. I think we're on point with our puns today, Hyferia.
I mean, we're doing terrible in the timing of them.
Well, yeah.
I can't say somebody's throwing and then they score, still making a chance for themselves. 37 seconds left. AW3 still very much are in this game, and Major, let's face the facts, have to be on their tippy toes.
Yeah, we've got to be careful here. That's one goal in their favor. It's not a massive swing, but if they get another one in quick succession, all of a sudden it could be here. With 30 seconds left, it's likely we take this game, but it's not a guarantee. So we need to be careful. We need to not allow free space in the air like that. Eventually, Lucky will shut it down, and Mads will get there for the follow-up. But we're starting to play a little bit hesitantly on defense. We did this during the first minute, but that was due to the fact that we didn't see a lot of firepower from AW3. So we need to be careful. At this point, the game is guaranteed. With just under 10 seconds left, there is no way AW3 can make a comeback, but we don't want to give them a goal for the road here. It would be massive for their confidence, and I'd prefer that we keep it at this 3-1 score line, but that's not up to us. It's up to, oh my word, AW3 and Major both, because this ball is kept up. Fireman Jonas trying to rip one on target, wants the double touch, but cannot find it. To the corner it goes, and I know it says invited, but in reality, Major take the win.
Absolutely. We don't make the lobbies. We just leave it up to the players, and you see invited against Ice Speed. Ice Speed is a team of Magma and Lucky, so are they playing against themselves? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We know that Major won the first game. It's up there on the scoreboard. We can all agree. I saw that they were going for a very 50-50 heavy playstyle though on the side of AW3. They were constantly trying to force it, and with that trying to make their way through. It's just not quite working out against Major, though.
No, it's not really. It seems like AW3 came into this one with a very methodical mindset of being able to kind of control the pace of play, being able to control this pitch overall, and eventually they did sort of start to do that. You can tell, considering the fact that they have 8 shots in comparison to our 4, but the reality is that they probably should not have tried to control the pace of play, because when they did that, they started to leave gaps. They started to play a little bit more hesitantly, give a little bit extra space, and, well, you saw what happened when you gave us space. You let shots rip off, like, all of the ones we saw. I don't think we had a bad goal in that game, Hyferia. Basically, if AW3 gave us a chance, we struck.
That's just the case every single time. You can't allow any space whatsoever, and unfortunately, Major are the type of players who just create space regardless of the situation, but now being 1-0 up, that puts them in a good position. 2 more, and they will have secured themselves a tie, and every single week you said that, it annoyed me, it pissed me off. This week, I'll say it for you. A tie would be a win here.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. This is the one week I don't want to say, but this, like, we can't get a tie. I mean, listen, I get it. AW3, that's a team that, you know, a tie is a win because it is a good result against them. But we've stated this before, and I'll state it again. We can't really afford a tie here. If we get a tie, we leave the door open for us to get overtaken in that #1 position. And I don't even want to have the chance at that one. I want to win here. I want us to take this team and just run with the momentum we found in game #1. Is that going to be easy, or likely we get an overwhelming victory? Probably not. AW3 are far too capable of a team, and I don't think that we're just going to wipe the floor with them. But I still want that win, Hyferia. I'd agree a tie would be nice, but we kind of need a win.
Every week against Playwell, against teams like
But it didn't matter then!
Of course it did! It's still exactly the same. I'll tell you this much. A tie guarantees a victory here. Mads is just going to score this. No, he's going to actually leave it open to Magma. Lucky tries to rip a shot, but now Mads has to take it off to his own corner. I think we should just let the mathematicians behind the scenes do their job.
This is a fair point. We are also casters, and caster math is probably one of the worst things on this planet. So, hey, Direct, if you're around, I know you're probably not. You've been hired for RLCS, so I have to imagine you've got a lot going on right now. But, please help us. Thank you. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we can help out the team right now because they're currently 0-0 with about 90 seconds gone. Both squads having some decent opportunities, but this is a lot more pressure than we endured in the first game. It does seem like AW3 are starting to move into our final third with a lot more presence than before.
And this is maybe because they didn't have their proper warm-up skin and it's scrim. And then you have to scrim against somebody who might not necessarily be on the same level or might not necessarily be your favored scrim partner. And at that point, you're going to be in a deficit for that first game, but they very much picked it up. And that's what I like to see. I don't want this to be a complete blowout, even though it'd be nice because, well, major win, haha, nice. I want to see a proper Rocket League game here.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is that it's the end of the season, the very last game of this regular season before we head into playoffs. And yes, as much as we're not going to complain if we blow out AW3 here and just take an overwhelming win, because it would be fantastic for us going into playoffs, but I want to see a conclusion. I want to see the proper fight that we had been hyping up for 9 weeks straight. And oh my, we are indeed finding it right now. But another thing we find is that interruption in free space. AW3 think they've got some time at a midfield to make some passing plays, but Magma thinks not.
Of course, Magma intercepts every single time, just runs around like runs around the pitch like a maniac just after halftime. And there's no other better place to be scoring. Magma out to the sides, just going to be trying to outpace and Seb. And that's going to be a difficult one. Seb was close to the play. Now Magma turns in for it. Lucky knows it. Pinch to the center, blocked by Inferno. Magma still picks it up, whips it into the box. Mads makes Fireman Jonas jump in. Still Fireman Jonas completely taken out of the equation now. Lucky pass to the center. Magma up for it. Mad's still far back in rotation. And this is a great attack in rotation that they've got going for them right now.
Only issue is they're pretty low on boost. You can see Lucky retreating here, and Magma the only one who can go up for this ball. They will interrupt and not allow AW3 an easy transition here, but this might be the start of an AW3 offense. They've got a decent lockout at midfield, or so I thought. Mads pre-jumped that one like an absolute insane person, and it almost worked out for us, but we are going to endure some pressure on the other end. But I'm getting a little bit surprised. A lot of this game is just being battled in the air. I know professional Rocket League is usually a pretty aerial battle, but I feel like if given the option, the players are taking it to the air every single time.
I think that's because they're forcing that on the side of Major. They weren't willing to do so. Well, that's a great pass over for Lucky. It's up to himself. Triple taps it into the back of the net. And Lucky, that is exquisite.
Oh, we'll talk about aerial control. That's 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, right around Seb, and puts that into the back of the net, and possibly puts the dagger on the game. Almost 4 minutes of play and not a single goal so far from AW3. This is, I'm astonished. I don't know what else to say at this point, Hyferia. We were saying we don't want to see us completely wipe the board with AW3 here. I don't think that's up to us anymore, because that's up to AW3. They need a turnaround, and they need it now.
I even feel like it's not necessarily that much that AW3 are just playing bad. It's just that Major's playing better. They're outplaying them on every single occasion, and sure, the rotation might have a few issues at the side of AW3, but it's not like massive mistakes, a proper miss coming through. No, in that regard, they're playing pretty consistently. I guess stuff like this, you could say you have to score, but the amount of confidence this one still for playoffs is insane.
That was ridiculous there as well. I'm not sure who got the bump, but the fact that Seb went up for that one, and instead of even trying to block the shot, they just slammed into him and took him off the pitch. It's the heads-up IQ. It really does look like Major came to play today. They had a strategy. They understand how they wanted to affect with that strategy, and, well, they're going to find a goal because of it. Lucky finds their own pinch afterwards. There's a little bit of interruption here from, I think it's Magma, who basically plays a distraction game, but regardless, the fact that Lucky even set that up in the first place, Hyferia, we are feeling ourselves right now.
Absolutely. It's looking great. It's looking so phenomenal right now with 17 seconds left. No mathematical chance that they get back into this game, and even if there was, I don't think theoretically it doesn't mean anything in Rocket League. They just don't have any way back in this game, and we go 2-0 up against somebody who well, I thought we should be tying to, or very most likely, most probable would be tying to. They're proving me wrong here.
I thought, I mean, again, the reason where I'm kind of saying I don't want to tie is because tie does kind of feel like the most probable scenario and outcome of everything that we've got here. So I'm kind of trying to, you know, will it into existence that we get a win. I don't think I really need to do that anymore. At this point, I don't think there's any willing left to be done. Major showed up exactly how we hoped for today, and this is pretty much exactly as we want them to play every time. I don't know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. This is an incredible performance at a major, and it looks like we might just be able to go clean through against AW3.
That's ridiculous. If you said that at the start of the season, I thought you out of your mind. And also, Northern must be looking at this kind of scared. The AW3, a phenomenal side, and currently up 2-0. But this is also where Major kind of drop the ball sometimes, where they don't necessarily play at their absolute best anymore. And I want to see them continue the form.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is we need to be able to ride with this. We saw this last week against Playwell as well, is that we were overwhelming in favor, and then all of a sudden we got a little bit shaky. Gave them a game, and then we did recover. But as we mentioned before, we can't really afford to give up games here. If it's looking like Nordovan might be able to go on a sweep against Valet Esports, that means they put themselves in the best position possible to overtake us in that #1 spot. So, again, Hyferia, I know a tie is good. It still leaves us in contention for that #1, but we need this win to secure ourselves that #1 spot.
It's just so much more comfortable if you take matters into your own hands, man. And popping it off the backboard, getting the follow-up tap as well. And I feel like they're playing so much better than we've seen them any other week. And I'm glad to see that they still can be able to get out a proper rotation instead of just absolutely monkey after every single play that you can. It's refreshing, honestly.
Yeah, it's nice to see a clean rotation from the team because we've seen them do both. We've seen them with that hyper-aggressive playstyle where they're just in your face, unrelenting, but we've also seen them with a methodical back and forth. And the reason I think they're doing so well in this game, though, is they found a balance between that. The fact they are controlling this aerial play and getting in the face of AW3 while also playing such a Loctite defense, and passes like this. Come on, this is disgusting. Magma, what on earth? Straight down to Lucky, and all of a sudden Major up 1-0.
Absolutely amazing. Lucky even leaving that for Magma. The communication is so incredible right now, and I love seeing this. I already said it is refreshing, but it just keeps on being more refreshing. On the side of AW3, though, they're staring down the barrel, and they need a way out quick.
They need to find some sort of break here at this point, and it's weird. You know, usually when you're playing against a team that you've been hyping up all season, you've been waiting to play them, and you wanted to battle them, and, you know, you want to crush them, take that overwhelming victory in the playoffs, when you see them start to falter, you go, ah, yes, victory. I kind of feel bad for AW3. We've been hyping this up. I bet you they've been hyping this up this entire season, and they're just not showing up to play. They went shutout in 5 minutes of play in the last game. This is 6 minutes in a row where they have not gotten a goal. This is insanity, Hyferia. I never would have imagined it.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. I don't know what to say anymore. It's yet another attack, though, quickly turned into a counter-attack with Fireman Jonas and going down the right flank, dropping down to the ground as Gravity does. Inferno gets the follow-up Fireman Jonas. It's actually Inferno popping it to the center, but because Fireman Jonas committed as well, there's absolutely no chance for a triple commit right now for the side of AW3. Inferno pops it up even further. Seb tries to connect and sees Magma in the way. Fireman Jonas to the backboard, finds the second tap, but it will be another one to the backboard, and then Inferno will get all in there. They can't quite get the shots off, though.
They have a single shot registered through almost half this game. And yes, we do as well, but the one shot we have was not only on target, it was into the back of the net. So I guess that's kind of the difference here. It's efficiency versus quantity at this point. And the reality is that, well, there's way more offensive pressure for AW3 as they move past his midfield line and continue to press against us. They just haven't had as quality of shots. They just haven't been able to find the same sort of firepower we've seen before from AW3. So I really don't know what to say at this point because it's just so unexpected. We did not expect this to be the AW3 we see on the day.
It does seem that AW3 is getting into it a bit more, though. They are starting to warm up, I feel like, and getting more attacking pressure. Even though that was also the case in game number 1, I feel like they're more threatening as of this moment. Magma, great rotation on the backward while Mads does take it out. Taking security, and I love seeing that pinch to the sensor. Lucky up for it, not enough boost and a misread as well, but he goes for it. And he's not too unfamiliar with that situation.
Not too far off either. The fact that he pre-jumped that, I don't even know when. I didn't even see him go up for it. It's just ridiculous. But speaking of ridiculous, we got to give credit where it's due. Inferno, that is a disgusting angle and a heck of a way to get your team back into this game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, if you score a goal like that, hey, that's starting to get into it, surely. They get their first goal. And then they need to actually get their second as well directly in this same game. Seb. Out to the side, to the center, Lucky. Ooh, Magma, he panics, and this might cause a bit of a issue in rotation for Major. This is where they can't get complacent, or where they start to panic.
Wait,
absolutely no room for that. So my word, AW3 are panicking as well.
They just missed. They throw 2 people into the corner. Fireman Jonas doesn't get the touch. Eventually, Seb does, but the fact that they're having to throw 2 of their players at the ball is just... it's confusing. You don't usually expect this from the team, and I have to keep reiterating it because we don't really have much else to add here. Is that AW3, a team that is usually so clinical, have missed many opportunities throughout this one, and Major have punished every time they have slipped up. So let's see, can they punish one more time? A minute left here in game number 3. We win this one, we guarantee a tie at minimum. And again, a tie is not necessarily the goal right now, considering how strong Valet look against Nordavind here, or excuse me, Nordavind look against Valet. I had that backwards. But it would be huge. They at least get us to that 3-0 in the first 3 games, give us a ton of extra breathing room going into the back half of the series.
If they get 1 game and we tie it up at minimum here, that's us first place guaranteed. After that, Magma's gonna score. Oh, okay, Fireman Jones. He reads that as well. That's ridiculous that he knows Magma can pull those off. That's an unfortunate misstep out of Fireman Jones. Lucky pops through for the shot, Seb. As to the side, and I guess we'll go into bracket shenanigans and everything like that after this game is done, because it is almost overtime. Magma could have prevented it with that shot right there, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't.
We still have a chance here. Lucky pressing on offense, and Mads out at midfield. We'll keep this up for one more chance. Off the backboard, is anyone there? Lucky is, and he sinks it into the back of the net, off the bar and in, and Major take their 3rd straight.
Oof, Inferno, you can't miss a read at this moment, at this stage of the game. So unfortunate for AW3, and I said they weren't necessarily making many mistakes. That certainly is one. Absolutely no shot you should be missing those, and well, we've just secured ourselves at minimum a tie here, Bass.
What is happening? I'm so confused right now. AW3, don't miss that off the backboard. We've watched them this entire... Hyferia, tell me if I'm wrong on this one. If AW3 is playing and we get off of stream pretty much every time we go to watch them to see what they're playing like, to scout the competition, and they are a consistently good team, to see them this frazzled, this uncomfortable. Someone in chat was asking, is it an off day for AW3 or are Major playing out of their minds? In my opinion, yes, it's a little bit of an off day, but I think the reason it's an off day is because Major are unrelenting here. They're keeping AW3 so uncomfortable, and just nothing but applause. Well done to Major. You guys look fantastic right now.
He did tell us to decide, so have we made a decision? Has the council come to a decision here, Bass?
I'll let you make the executive decision. I'll let you decide.
I say we just ban him. Simple stuff. Oppression absolutely coming through. Okay, back to the game though, because this is still an important one. I saw Hoover already say in chat, hey, well, we've got a first, but I'm not too sure what the tiebreaker is to get first, since if there's 1 win for Valet, if they get 1 on the board, that's us first guaranteed. But right now, we're tied in every single scenario, and AW3, they're the first ones to score.
Ooh, that's not great for us here. We don't want to even give them a little bit of momentum going into this game. So the fact they score first after not being able to find really any offense the last 3 games, shows we might have a little bit more of a contest on our hands. And honestly, I'm going to feel bad for AW3 if they start to show their prowess during the back half of the series. Lads, you probably, oh my word, needed to show shots like that earlier. AW3 look like they've woken up, but let's see, can we shut them down and take the clean sweep?
And that's actually AW3 guaranteed a third place, even if they do manage to tie this one up, and they still have a chance. They do still have a chance, considering they're up 2-0 within a minute.
And not only up 2-0 within a minute, but this, unfortunately, is the weakest we've seen our defense play so far. No one even prepared for that one, and we talked about this before. We didn't necessarily need a lot of offensive pressure. We just needed to use it when we found it, and that was due to the fact that we had such a lockdown defense that just could endure shot after shot after shot, offensive pressure after offensive pressure, but we're not really seeing that right now. It does kind of look like Major are starting to get maybe a bit too aggressive, getting in the face of their opponents to the point where it's being detrimental to their defense. But I'm not going to panic yet. We have almost 4 minutes of play left here, and yes, we are down by 2, but we've seen it before, and I have a feeling we'll see it again. Major can score in the blink of an eye.
They still have plenty of time, and especially if they start combining like this, it's a good interception by Seb, and they do start finally getting the ball rolling and managing to have their offense in the way that they want to curate it, and they still need to. And try and keep this momentum going, though, because they need 3 in a row. Major have been able to do it, but to be doing it from a comeback scenario, well, I guess this is a good start for them.
Oh my, this is not what we were looking for here. 3-0, and I gotta say, in particular, this player has stepped up. Seb is 3 for 4. They have the most shots in the lobby, and it's not even close. We don't have a registered shot yet, and the second player in the lobby is Fireman Jonas with 1. So Seb has decided in this game that he is done getting scored upon and would like to do some scoring himself, and well, he's done it 3 times within about half the game. I don't think they're done quite yet. Inferno's got a decent 1v1 here, and oh my word, where did Magma come from? Intercepts that one out of nowhere and keeps the dream alive for now.
He just took notes every single time that Major scored. He took very thorough notes and made sure that he's now able to convert that. Fireman Jonas, good clear off the backboard. Magma, Mads, Seb into the attack. Lucky taking a wide turn, passing it into Magma. Magma's going to be looking for the pass back, but Inferno with that interception leaves an open net for Fireman Jonas, which was almost denied by his own teammate.
See, this is what we're talking about when we say that the defense is looking a little bit too aggressive there. Magma probably should have been rotating back, and Lucky should have taken that by themselves, but they've had so much control over the air at this point that they're still trying to get those passing plays that are a little bit risky. Rather than having the rotation back, you cut it off out of midfield, hope that you can advance into an offense, and, well, it comes back to bite you. So I think we might need to go back to the drawing board here at this point, Hyferia. The strategy we had been pulling off the last couple of games with this overwhelming aggression and this defense that just didn't seem to crack has kind of started to crack, unfortunately. AW3 have us read, and if we keep playing with the same sort of strategy, I'm not so sure we're going to find a lot of success.
It took them long enough to figure that one out. 3 games. Yeah, I guess it's about time, but indeed, it is still very scary for the side of Major. It's a tie. I still haven't had proper confirmation that this confirms our first place spot, so if we do end up tying it up, that's the problem. At the same time, if we tie this one up, that still means AW3 is have to get 2 games in a row, and this is not necessarily weird territory for Major.
It's not unusual territory for Major. They've been here a couple of times before, but I would say that, you know, let's not necessarily start to get too comfortable with ourselves. We've seen this. When we start to get too comfortable, we get a little bit lackadaisical. When we get lackadaisical, we start to leave room for our opponents. And against a team like AW3, you don't want to give them room. They've shown they are capable. So let's try and get a little bit more, I don't know what the word is here. Advantageous, I guess, is the best word to use here. Try and get in the face of our opponents, look for these opportunities, and take the momentum where we can get it. With 1:20 left, this game is out of hand. We're not going to be able to take the clean sweep that we were hoping for, but maybe we can find at least a goal for the road and some extra momentum.
Well, at least something. Well, let's see whether we can find that. Lucky into the center. Fireman Jonas up for it. It's Lucky driving underneath. Magma attempts at something. It's just that the AW3 have got a better read on it right now. They're managing to get their challenges in order. Good challenge of Mads there, though, to try and shut that offense down. 3 against 1 it was. Well, not a great position for Magma to be in.
All right, so update, by the way, just to give everybody at home a little bit more of a scare here. Nordavind has indeed swept Valet. They've taken their 4-0, guaranteeing themselves that possible #1 position. And according to the leaderboards right now, we both have a +26 game differential. including meaning that if we take a tie here, our game differential moves not at all. We get 1 point for the tie, and we finish the season with the exact same record as Nordavind. 34-8 would be our record if we tie this one overall. So Hyferia, I hate to say it, but now we have to. We need to win to get number 1.
We have to, but what a crazy ending to the season. Nordavind sweeping a phenomenal opponent. Let's be real, Valet also top 4 and sweeping them. We were on track to do so with AW3. As you see by this game not going the way of Major, that's not the case anymore. And AW3, they fought back. They still want to make a stand, since it's also important for them to try and get as many points, even though I think they already are third no matter what.
They're guaranteed third at this point. No matter what, the only way they could change that is if they had taken a win off of us, which is literally out of the question at this point. They cannot win. The best thing they can go for here is a tie. And again, a tie is good for them because A, it gives them some extra momentum going into this one, and B, they play upset. I don't want them to upset us, though, at this point, Hyferia. We need this win, my friend. And honestly, I think we need this game. I do not want this going to our 6th game.
I mean, do you really not want to?
I mean,
hey, kinda though, kinda. I'm sorry for all the Major fans out there. Sorry for saying it, but I kind of want to see that game 6. Gets the nerves up, gets everybody questioning, and Fireman Jonas and Seb double committing like that. That's not going to help them. Fireman Jonas still does a good job to bring it all the way down the other end, though.
I will say this. I will only want a game 6 if we get a back and forth game 5. If we have another routing like the last one where it just kind of seems like AW3 have woken up and we don't really have an answer, I'm not really looking forward to a game 6. But if we get a back and forth that looks close the whole time, that means we'll get a back and forth in game 6 as well, most likely. So I'm hoping we just have a good series. I can tell you this much, Hyferia. We were hoping for a series that delivered, and my oh my has it ever. The stakes have never been higher, and the nerves have never been more tense. I don't know who walks away with a win at this point, but all I can tell you is it's a legendary battle to conclude this season.
You don't know who walks away with a win? Haven't you read the script? Come on now.
That's a fair point. I forgot to go over in rehearsal. That's my
Game
bad.
6 overtime. No worries, though. You know it now. Nobody heard that. As we do get on with the game. A minute has passed. Not quite that much happening. Just a straight back and forth. And a few misses here and there out of the side of Major that we didn't see in the earlier games. Good pass from Lucky out to the side. Mads looks for the follow-up. And Inferno on the backboard means Mads is going to go for an infield pass. It's a bit too close to the net, though. And there will be a clear.
Clear for now, but how far is that clear going to go? Because all of a sudden, we've got empty space out of midfield. Lucky looking for a double touch, but Inferno gets in the way. But what about the follow-up? Matt sends this to Magma. Magma sends it high. Lucky is up, but can't get a touch. We throw everything at that offense, but cannot find a shot to show for it. We won't concede on the other end, thankfully enough, but... oh my, Major, that's the best chance you've had all game. You've got to strike when you get chances like that.
I think they forgot where the goal actually is. Continuously placing on the backboard like that. That almost dropping in front of the net. Mads still past Inferno. This should be his Seb. Indeed it is. Magma maybe looks for Lucky. No, Lucky's just far back in the rotation. Will be coming in now. 50 with Seb in the air. Seb majorly dominates that. Mads into the center. Lucky pass back to Mads. They're looking for the passing plays, but they're not quite connecting in the way that they're looking for.
And I think that's kind of the issue right now is that they were... what? Okay, I thought if Fireman Jonas had scored that, I wouldn't even been mad. That would have just been hats off to him. That's a ridiculous angle. But I think this is kind of the issue, is we were passing like this all throughout games 1, 2, and 3. In game 4, AW3 started to recognize that and were interrupting a lot of those passing plays. It's quite literally why they scored their first goal against us, was that interruption as we were trying to move out from midfield. So we can't afford this right now. I think we actually do need to start relying on solo plays. I don't usually say that because for the most part, solo plays are a bit riskier, but considering AW3 seem to have these passing lanes cut off, I think it might be the only option we've got left.
It's just when you throw them into the mix, that's when AW3 are going to have to start taking that into account as well. But well, I think that right now, Major, they're the ones who take things into account with AW3 pressing on the attack, knocking on the door, and just not quite breaking through. Seb attempts to get it through another time. Lucky looked for the demo or the bump or the pass or whatever, at least some kind of interference, and he gets it down to the other end now. As Magma off that right flank. Inferno goes underneath, looks up and sets it up for an aerial play for his self. It's not going to work out.
quite going to work out. But I do like this back and forth. You know what this reminds me of? Game number 1. We endure a lot of pressure from this AW3 offense in game 1 and just kind of looked for those breakout opportunities on the other end. We have only found one in this game, one registered shot, but all we need is one good opportunity and we will find it. Second shot of the game and it's a goal for Major.
The amount of confidence and knowledge here from Mads, and honestly, I think if you put Magma or Lucky in that position, they wouldn't have gone for it. Mads has such phenomenal experience, and he goes for the demo. Even before the play even happened, reads what was going to happen, and now it's just a holdout. Get in a fort. I don't know which fort is in Norway, but oh my word, Inferno doesn't break through.
I disliked that thoroughly. Feels backflip in the goal might be my least favorite thing in Rocket League, and I have now discovered that. So let's not do that again. 1 minute remaining here, and we're going to have to hold tight here on defense and hope that we can just keep this lead for now. Magma's going to guarantee that for at least a couple more seconds with a demo like that. But double commitment on the backboard here. Mads and Magma go up for this. We're looking a little bit awkward, but luckily enough, Fireman Jonas does not commit there. 45 seconds left. We're going to just have to try and hold on. Demo in the net, and it will not result in a goal. Seb comes in for the follow-up, and Hyferia, take this away before my heart pops.
Not take this entire game away from me, because I am having a tough time. And honestly, Major got kind of fortunate there. The bounce of the post absolutely destroying Fireman Jonas. Looking now down to the other end, he can bury all the worries that we have and all this game has been shaping up to be. Magma now and slightly off. Fireman Jonas looks for this to set up one final attack. They have to go right here, right now to try and get another game on the board. But Magma in control, taking it to the sky. It's going to waste a lot of seconds. Flip reset in the bag. It's not going to work out. Seb down the other end, last ditch effort from Fireman Jonas, sets it up for himself. That's just a throwaway. Matt straight to the ground, and there we go.
Major secure themselves the #1 position in Telialigaen Fall 2021. They take the win over AW3 in game number 5 and secure that #1 position. Hyferia, we have reached the end of this one, but what a way to conclude.
What a way to conclude, and also that ending phase. Hey, I have no way to describe it except close. I did a visual improv rule and right there, Bassett, just so you know.
I wish I could be able to see it. Unfortunately, the feed that I currently have is me logging out of the game so that I can get back to this Twitch screen. But guess what, Twitch chat? Speaking of which, we did it, lads. We have finally made it all the way through this season, and we have secured ourselves that #1 position, like we said. It quite literally came down to one game, Hyferia. The fact that our season was determined by a singular game. What on earth?
I feel like they knew this. They knew this at the start. They put us up against each other in that final series of the entire season. For the regular season, that is. Because now, obviously, we do go into the playoffs. And what do playoffs mean? Well, it's not a #1 goes against #4. It's a #1 gets the first pick. So they just get to choose against who they will. Which I think is going to be a pretty obvious choice.
I think there might be an obvious choice at this point here. And, well, the reality is that the end of the season has concluded. There are some rather important frontrunners here, but I have to imagine going into playoffs here, Valet are going to have to be a little bit scared. The fact they take a sweep, or they get swept, by the second team in this league, the #1 team in this league has just taken a win over a team that other team tied with. If you're not able to keep up with all of this, all I'm going to recommend is go to Liquipedia and go check out this fall 2021 season for Telialigaen to go and look at everything. They have this organized phenomenally, and as much as we can spit numbers at you guys, we've said this before and I'll say it again, caster math is not always the most reliable, so go look at everything that's on the page here. Make sure to go and talk to all of these other people and go and look at everything going on here, because there's a lot of not miscommunication. There's a lot of information here, and unless you're sort of communicating amongst other people who kind of understand this bracket, it can get a little bit confusing.
It's a lot. It's surely a lot, but they've just been put under pressure. So I think it's about time for us to be put under pressure as well here, Bass. And obviously we've been giving our comments the entire season, and we've been chatting out absolute garbage the entire time as well. So how about how about we just get interviewed? That feels special. I haven't had that happen before. Rarity,
Yeah, hello.
welcome.
Hey, boys. First of all, I'm
Well,
going to say
hello.
an amazing match. Absolutely. I've been sitting here screaming in my chair watching this match. Absolutely. I have no words.
Neither. And it was my job to have words. It's it was an interesting one.
It really was. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm going to ask you two right away. How has it been to cast for Major these last 9 weeks? How have you felt with all this?
Honestly,
Go
pretty
for
much
it.
the entire way through, it's been cruising, except for 2 weeks. It was 4-1s, 4-0s. We've just been sitting here pretty much every single week. We knew what was coming in, what was coming at us. So honestly, it's been a lot of fun though.
It really has. It's been a blast the entire way through. I mean, honestly, if you guys haven't seen the clip that we posted last week of Hyferia and I just basically having a pun battle to finish off a match, that's the vibe it's been every single week. This is why it's so fun. When you have a team that is this good, that is this strong in league play, you don't necessarily always need to sweat the small stuff. You can just have fun being able to watch Rocket League. And I think that's probably the best way to sort of summarize this, Hyferia. Just a fun season overall.
That's good. And then now that we're already on the topic with like this clip, because I've seen the clip myself with the puns and everything, and I have to say those are golden puns. I have to admit, those are golden. So are there any standout puns then made by Baz here from the season?
Oh, God.
Oh,
Any
standout
favorites?
puns. Well, no favorites. I can tell you that much already.
Yeah, I was going to
hate
say,
them
you don't
all.
like any of them.
Well, 9 weeks, and I forget what I ate 2 minutes ago, so that's a tough one.
You know what? Honestly, I'm going to crown it with that lucky one. You want to know why that's my favorite pun, though, in specific? Because I think it was week 1 or 2. We agreed we were not going to do a lucky pun. We were like, we're not going to do that. We're going to make it through the season. No one makes a pun about Lucky's name. And then I saw the opportunity and went, yeah, this is too good. And I got kicked out of the call for it. Fair enough. But still, worth it.
Absolutely.
100% worth it. I think everybody in chat can also vouch for that. 100% worth it. We all enjoyed the clip. For sure.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I even had to turn off streamer mode in Discord to kick him out and make it actually audible to the audience.
That was great.
A lot of effort went in.
So speaking of then standout stuff, any standout moments, any matches or anything that you specifically enjoyed?
Off the get-go against Nordvind. That was an absolute ripper of a series. It ended in its high as well, which honestly was the expected result for this match as well. So, I mean, you can add on this one if you want, Bass.
I mean, I would say this one is definitely a pretty big result here, just because of the fact that we secure ourselves number 1, so this is definitely a highlight play. The only other highlight one I'm really going to have to mention here, and this might come as a surprise to some people, but it won't come as a surprise to you, Hyferia, beating Rotarion. That's another one here, and, well, it's not necessarily for what most people would think. You know, Rotarion, a mid-pack team here, it's because of their broadcaster. Shout out to the guys on the other end of here. We have been talking about this. We got a little bit of a rivalry, let's say, with the broadcasters on that Rotarion squad, so when we got to face up against them and got to be able to take that win, walking away from it with a little bit of a extra win there, you know, felt pretty good.
W was even
That's
better.
So then, that brings me to my next question. What do you guys actually think about the lineup that Major has compared to the rest of the playoff chains? How do you guys feel about the lineup? What's your
Refreshing.
opinion on it?
I think individually speaking, it has the most talent on it. It's just because it's such a refreshing and new squad, it still has a bit of work to do on the teamwork side of things. But I think they did a very good job of showing that they can work as a teamer today.
Oh, yeah. I would agree 100% there. I think that was one of the biggest things we saw develop throughout the season was that, to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into the behind the scenes here, we came into the season talking to the guys at Major, basically being like, all right, so, you know, what are the expectations for the team? What are you guys really looking for out of them? And we were all in agreement that, hey, they could be one of the top contenders in the league and could potentially take that number 1 spot. So let's shoot for it. Let's see what we can get. When we got about halfway through the season and it kind of just looked like it was guaranteed we were top 3 and that pretty much no one in the middle of the pack could even touch us, it's when it really started to, you know, open my eyes to the reality that, oh, this team is ready. They are ready to take down the big names here because the reality is coming into this one, while there definitely are some familiar names on this squad, we were not Nordavind, we were not AW3, we were not the guys who came into this one that, everybody has been like seeing season after season after season after season with these top dogs. The fact that we get here, take this number one with this new squad, I've got nothing but compliments for Major. I hope they become a staple here in Telialigaen for many seasons to come because they put a target on their back and they deserve that target. It's an incredible accomplishment to get this number one position.
So then, I'm assuming that you guys are really, really satisfied then with the lineup that we have, and then I just have to ask, what are your predictions for the playoffs? What are we hoping for?
No, I mean,
first round.
Can we go any other way than to just say, well, we'll win because it will be AW3 against Nordavind up first on the other side, and we'll face whoever wins off of that. And being on boot camp, being together, because I think it's a LAN, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's just gonna bring so much team vibes. I think they'll take it.
I'd agree. I really don't see this team not doing well at minimum here. I would say the worst result that we're going to probably see is going to be a second place because I just don't see it happening. The reality is that I barely see us taking a second place, let alone us being knocked out of this competition because we've played so strong. The reality is that we did not expect coming into this week for this to be as convincing of a victory as it was. The fact we take a 4-1 over AW3 goes to show you that the tie we took against Nordavind at the start of the season was just that. It was a random one-off tie at the start of the season. I don't think that these teams have had the same amount of progress that we have had. Nordavind are still strong. AW3 are still strong. Valet are still strong. They're all good teams. But I don't think they've seen the same sort of progress that we have had from the beginning of the season to where we are now. We look tenfold better, and I cannot wait to see their results in playoffs.
Then this is a bit off topic with Rocket League, but I saw somebody in chat earlier because obviously I'm modding the chat, and I saw somebody say sexy casters. And I have to say you both are very good looking, so I'm asking for a friend right now. Are you single?
Basses. But yes, your friend will be delighted.
I say friend, but I'm actually asking for the sake of the major staff. Just
he does live all the way in America, though, which might be...
There's the one issue. I do live in the States, about as far away from you guys as possible. But, we'll see. Maybe I'll come out to Norway in the next year or so. Who knows? We'll see what the future holds.
Love has no limits, right?
I'm already third wheeling. Jeez.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I've got a boyfriend. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
Elbas. Setting up for a friend. Remember. It's the major staff.
Major staff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Aren't they like a board of like 40-year-old dudes?
They're pretty much all guys. Yeah. I'm the only female that's working with them, pretty much. So, just asking for a friend. Let's leave it at that.
Moving on.
Yeah. Anyways, another community question then, as people are like wondering, is this is very important. It's very important what you answer to this question, right? Pineapple on pizza or not?
Oh god.
Your pay depends on your answer, by the way. I've been told to tell you that if you answer wrong, you don't get paid.
I'm so scared what the right answer is here at this point. I know my answer. My answer is no. Fun fact about me, I actually am Italian, and people putting pineapple on pizza physically pains me. Every time you do that, I lose about 20 seconds of my overall lifespan. So no pineapple on pizza, please. I'm going to vote no on this one. Hyferia, I already know your answer, and I'm scared.
What do you mean you know my answer? Go on. Do my impersonation of how I answer this.
We've discussed this before. We literally talked about this, and you not only brought up pineapple, you talked about how you put bananas on pizza. That was a thing.
No. I saw somebody put a kiwi on their pizza. That's what I said. Yeah. But no, I'm personally of the opinion I don't care. Like,
That's fair.
I don't personally put it on my pizza. I enjoy other pizzas. But if I'm not gonna care when somebody else puts pineapple on the pizza because it's not going in my mouth. I hope.
So your answer is you just don't care.
Yeah. No, I just don't care.
Okay. It was a joke, by the way. Your answer is like your pay does not depend on the answer.
I was gonna ask who actually gets paid for this one.
I already called my lawyer.
Hey, my boys. Besides them for Rocket League, what is your favorite video game?
Ooh.
What kind of games are you guys into? You know.
Is it all time favorite or is it as of this moment?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, let's say recent times then. What have you recently
Okay.
been playing?
Recent
What have you been
Apex
into?
Apex Legends. I'll be
Yeah,
getting into
Apex
that.
Legends.
Yeah.
Apex Legends has taken up pretty much. I mean, like we've gotten wins together before at this point. Like Hyferia and I do play a decent amount. Only other game I would shout out is probably Dead by Daylight. If you guys have not been playing Dead by Daylight in the recent updates that they've been putting out, the game has gotten better over time. The queue times are still absolute dog. They're horrible. So unless you've got a decent amount of people to play with, you might have some struggles. But shout out Dead by Daylight, I guess.
Hashtag ad.
Yes. I am not sponsored by them, but I will gladly take if someone from Dead by Daylight is watching and wants to sponsor me, I will gladly take your money.
No. Okay, next question.
Got shameless plugins in there.
Come on.
Community would also like to know if you guys have a favorite song. Anything you're listening to at the moment that you're really vibing to.
Favorite song? I feel like I've been into Range Brothers by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. That's a banger.
It is a good song.
Apart from that, I just usually like when I add a new song, I listen until it gets old. But by that point, I already have a new song. So
Yeah, I kind of feel that. I think the only thing I'm really going to shout out, because this has been my favorite album since forever, and it just got remastered and put out on streaming. Shout out to Mac Miller and Faces. Faces is probably my favorite mixtape of all time. I not only have the what's it called? I have not only listened to the album more times than I can count. I like quite literally had, I think, a phase where I listened to it like only for a month. But I also have, hold up, I have the vinyl. Check this out.
I've got the Circles vinyl. I'm not gonna grab it because I might or might not be wearing pants.
I've got it ready.
Oh, look at that. Faces. Ladies and gentlemen.
Dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got it ready. He's been waiting for this. He is the one who sent in this question. I'll tell you that much.
I'm starting to wonder if that is actually the case. Yeah, seeing that he's been pulling it up on stream and everything now.
Yeah,
It's almost
got
as
it
if he
ready
did
next
plan
to
it.
him.
Yeah.
What did I plan? What?
This question.
I
So you
didn't
to
play-
show
I-
off your
I
new
can't-
vinyl.
It's not that's not even the most recent vinyl I have. It's just like, okay, so I
That's
can't
what they
give.
were saying.
I have vinyls next to my bed. There's literally like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can I
5,
go back
6
to the
different
first
vinyls.
question and how it's been like? The casting major for this 9 weeks. It's been tiring with this dude.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna side with Hyferia on this one. Next question, so I don't get bullied anymore.
All right, then I'm just gonna wrap it up and ask you guys: is there anything you guys would like to say to the fans watching, or any shout out you guys want to give to anyone?
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't really have a lot of shout outs. Mainly shout out Hyferia, shout out Major team, just for everybody that's been supporting us throughout the season. You guys have been awesome. It's been a blast coming back here every single week. One person I will shout out that is not a part of Major, just because I see him in chat and because he's also just a good dude. Shout out Barist. How you doing today, brother? It's good to see you again. Glad to see that you have come through the chat and said what's up. That's it. I got no other shout outs. Hyferia, you got anybody?
Well, I mean, I'd like to return the favor to you, obviously. Even though, all jokes aside, it's been a blast for these entire 9 weeks. And so everybody watching right now, make sure to check it out, to check out the playoffs. It will be a hype one.
Yeah, I also do have to correct myself. Boris, stop doing so many things, by the way, because now, last time you and I talked, I saw you as the manager of or the coach, excuse me, of Asia Manji. Then I get back to here in Major, and you've all of a sudden switched roles and are also a part of here. So you can't live dual lives, my friend. You got to pick one role at some point.
I think he does a good job of both.
I think he does as well. He doesn't actually have to do that.
Well then, boys, I'm not going to take up too much of your time anymore. I'm just going to, on behalf of Major, I'd like to thank you all, like both of you specifically, so much for these 9 weeks with the casting. This has been, I don't really play Rocket League, so for me it's been an absolute blast watching you guys cast and have fun and just do what you guys love doing. So, like I said, on behalf of Major, thank you so much for these 9 weeks. It's been a blast.
Thank you.
Much
Thank you.
appreciated. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure working for you guys as well. And thank you for the interview at the end of the season. We don't always get interviews as casters, and this was actually a lot of fun.
I mean, if you ever want another interview, just hit me up and I'll hook you up. No worries, I got you.
Much appreciated.
Well, I wish you both a very nice evening. And once again, thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Have a good one. Ugh. Well, do you know, always when people say blast now, I think about your name, but then blast from the past. It's annoying.
That is where the name comes from.
Oh, interesting. Well, talking about a blast from the
Just-
past. Well, I mean, I just don't care about you enough.
All right, you know what? All right.
I had a smooth transition. I was going to say, talking about a blast from the past. Well, we had somebody on at the start of the show, and I feel like they were mainly personal questions. So, welcome, Stewie. How are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I so.
Yeah, Stewie B on air right now.
I've got no words. I couldn't watch the first or the last game. I was on the toilet, anxiety. So
Yeah.
I
Wait. Let me get this proper. You had anxiety while you were on the toilet, or you've had
no.
or you have anxiety when you go to the toilet?
No, I watched the first 30 seconds. We went like 1-0 up or something, and yeah, I was gone. I just couldn't. I couldn't. And then yeah, I had an anxiety situation, and I had to go to the loo. So that
Okay.
didn't go
When
well
nature
for me.
calls. Oh my god.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. I have to swap back to us asking the questions now because I was almost sitting here waiting for the next question to arrive. You got any questions for us, Stewie?
Oh, gee, that's put me on the spot. That's really put me on the spot. You literally just got asked like 10 questions.
I was gonna say, what
Yeah,
are you doing to him? What is
I
this?
don't know. Maybe he had one. Maybe he wants to ask whether he had anxiety as well for this game. Obviously, like,
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, you
no problem.
took out my mind. I was gonna say that anyway.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I knew.
Yeah,
I knew.
yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Did you have anxiety?
Great question. This one kind of comes unexpected, but a bit, I must say, a bit. Especially in after we dropped that one game, it felt a lot more tense all of a sudden. You saw AW3 started to pick it up again.
Well, as they said, I don't know if it was true or something, but they had like the problem with the warm up scrim and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they scrimmed. Did they? Do you know?
I have no clue. They
You're the
didn't say.
coach.
No, of AW3.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. I was like, how are we supposed to know that? Isn't that supposed to be your insight? Like, we just scream at a screen. That's all we do. Come on now.
AW3 they after the third game after that third game they did pick it up a lot. I'm surprised they actually didn't take the second game, to be honest. We were just very clinical with our chances. We've been working on that this entire week, just having opportunity. We know we're not going to get as many opportunities as we would against other teams in the league, but we took our chances well today. That especially the last game and the first game, we took our chances like really, really well. So the fourth game where it went 4-0 and stuff, like, yeah, you can be consistent, but like you can't expect to win every game. There's always going to be ups and downs, and that was one of the downs, and we had to pick it up from there and show what we're about again, one last time, one more game, and we did. We showed it.
Did you
Beyond showed it.
Did you do any kind of motivational speech or anything like that in between time?
No, not in between the game. Not in the game.
Just at the start.
At the start, before they started, I do say my piece, and especially whilst we're scrimming, we're just getting all the chills down, and everyone gets calm, in the zone, and that happens every week. Repetition is always good, and I think the exact same will happen for next week for the LAN. We'll have a consistency of what we're gonna do when we go to Norway and play our best Rocket League.
Are you at the LAN?
Yeah, I'm coming to the LAN.
Like, great stuff. Nice.
I'm coming.
Oh,
I'm coming.
coach
I'm
at the
coming.
LAN. Getting more permissions than at the RLCS LAN coming up. Let's go. Woo!
Wait, is that still like a thing? Like ROCS is still not? Okay.
You can bring
Yeah.
one representative from the team plus any guardians for the player. So if any of the players are under 18, they can bring a guardian as well as one representative of the team.
What an
Meaning,
RSS pays. RSS like pays
yeah,
for
at the
it.
land. So meaning that if you're the coach of the team, you either have to make the choice. It's either the coach goes, the manager goes, or the sub goes. So if you don't bring the sub, you basically need all 3 players to play all 3 days and guarantee they can play every time. So be happy you're able to go to a LAN right now. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm stoked. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, 3
I
or 4
see.
days with the boys. So
I see a way around this, Bass, and that's just to legally adopt as a coach and as a manager.
I thought you were saying I should adopt Stewie, and I was about to say that's a weird one, man. I don't know about this one.
well,
No,
I'm
I would
open.
think
I'm
so.
open. I'm
What?
open.
No.
He's like 4 years older. That's crazy.
Dog, I don't need a kid right now. I'm honestly so good. I don't need a kid right now. I'm so okay without one. Stewie, you're a lovely dude. I think you'll be able to get on just fine without me as your adopted father. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, jeez, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll adopt you. Is that good?
That you can't legally do that. That's the
Can
point
I?
here.
Can I
This
not?
this started out as an
Whoa.
interview, you know.
I think
It is
this was
still
supposed.
an interview.
But who? Who's this? But you
Yeah.
you made him interview us. Literally, first question. How is
Well-
this an interview?
Well, I turned it around. I've yet to hear any question from you, mate.
Hey,
He's-
Stewie, I've got a couple of questions for you, real quick. So,
Yeah, bro.
in your opinion, when you do get to LAN, do you see the team performing better or worse than they've been doing online? Because every once in a while, you do see teams who they get into an environment where it's all 3 of them in the same place and they're able to pop off. Other teams sometimes kind of falter. Do you see that being the case here, or do you think that this is just sort of the momentum continuing and once you guys are in person, it's just nonstop?
I've had a chat with them about this. Of course, this is one of the main things that I've had to speak about because it's a much different environment. You've got to deal with the pressure not of yourself and the other team. You've got to deal with the pressure with the people around you, and especially when you've got your 2 teammates next to you. If you muck up, they are there. They are there. But I think with our team, we're very compact. As the seasons went forward, we've got closer together as friends, not just as players and a coach. Should I say? I think I'm a player personally. Um, But yeah, no, we're ready for the LAN and we're ready to pop off. So I don't think it will hinder us in any way. I think we'll be on our top game. I think.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Before we do head all out, do you have any shout outs that you want to give to the team, to the players, to anybody? Your dad?
Okay, I don't want to answer that question because we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go.
Okay.
We're not gonna go there.
Okay, good.
What?
Just
What?
move on. Any other shout outs? I don't know. He wanted you to adopt him, so I just thought I'd be funny, but I feel like I've gone down a wrong path where the answer is not going to be fun whatsoever. Do you have any shout outs
The
you want
answer
to
will be
give?
fun. I just feel like it'll get blurred by Twitch, and we're probably never allowed to stream on this channel again. So maybe let's let's not.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay. So, okay, number 1, Major, of course. The whole organization. I've said this before my my last stream. Appreciation, but they put so much faith into me. They hired me last February for that last season, and we didn't get that top 4. And I said to them, if I get the right players, we will do everything. We'll do it all, and we've done the easiest part, but the hardest part, of course, is the actual 2 games in Oslo. So we're getting there, but if we do it, then they've put a lot of faith into me, so I'm thankful for that, and they've kept with me all this time, and I promised them that I would do it, or I would do it. So we'll see. I can't really fault anything about Major. The everything to go to Norway, it's always been perfectly planned, everything. So shout out to everyone, Diablo, Magnus, Soul, everyone, even you two, brilliant casting. So
Appreciate it.
questionable situations sometimes, but
Hmm.
very good casting. Very, very good casting. You guys are top tier. You should just you should be on RCS, simple as that.
We
So
are, but...
no, like RLCS, like EUNA.
okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I
We'll
appreciate
get
the
there,
compliment.
hopefully. We'll get there, hopefully. Well, It's been great talking to you, though, Stewie, and thank you for obviously all the work you've done this entire season from us. And well, have a great rest of your evening. Go celebrate your victory because it is certainly
And
a
have
deserved
fun at
one.
the LAN.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have a good one, you two. Love from me and the rest of the team. And
Much appreciated, brother.
hopefully we see you guys soon.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we see you
Hopefully.
guys lifting a trophy real soon.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. See you later.
See you later.
Have a good one, sir.
Ooh.
And there we are. Just you and me now, Bass. And oh my, what a show. What a road towards here it has been.
What a journey. It's been fantastic. And, well, this is always the hardest part of the journey. It's time to say goodbye. Hyferia, our final cast with Major for this entire season.
It's an unfortunate one, but hopefully they stick with the team, they stick with us, and everything works out for everybody. And that would be lovely. We certainly hope to be back next season. But if I remember correctly, that's quite a while away for Telialigaen.
It might be some time. But the good thing is that you guys don't necessarily need to miss out on the action. Like we said, Major are going to that LAN. As far as I am aware, the LAN is going to be broadcasted in some form. Hyferia and I are not going to be the talent for it, but if you guys do want to keep up with Major, my best recommendation would be go follow us on Twitter. Go check out all the other socials besides here on Twitch. If you go look down below, just below this, we've got a Twitter, a Facebook, an Instagram, even the Discord where you can keep up to date and directly message people to figure out what's going on. So I implore you, please go keep up to date with everything that Major are doing right now. It's going to be by far the easiest way to keep track of what they're doing in the future and how this team does at that playoffs position and at the LAN. But Hyferia, other than that, I mean, I don't know what else to add, my friend.
I feel like we've given all the shout outs, all the due diligence, and all that we needed to do. And at this point, I'm kind of extending because I don't want to press that transition button and go onto the stream ending part. But unfortunately, it has come to that time. Once again, for one last time, I will thank you all so much for the support of Major, of us, of giving opportunities, every single thing, for just watching, for literally just leaving the stream on and going to the bathroom while you have anxiety. Love you for that, and thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope to see you back next season.